So last month I went to the Nas Summit and it was one of the most incredible things I've been to. But the first day was terrible for me. You see, I'm an introvert and I'm socially awkward. Being in a room with over 10 people terrifies me. And here I was among 600 strangers. The summit was a conference on content creation and I'm a coach, not a content creator. Well, yet I felt like a complete imposter. I was so overwhelmed that I went back to my Airbnb and cried. But I remembered what Nusayr said at the summit. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, "What you learn here at the summit, you'll probably forget. But the connections you make, those will last." I realized how incredibly blessed I was to even be able to attend the summit. I told myself I won't give up, and this moment of self-doubt and anxiousness will pass. I wasn't going to allow my fears to dictate me. So I had to coach myself out of this state. A big shout out to Aline for teaching us about networking at the Success Circle just a week before the summit. I put all her teachings to use. She asked us to remember one simple question while approaching someone. What's the worst that could happen? So I did just that. I asked myself, what's the worst that can happen? They say no to me, they don't find me interesting, or I make a fool of myself. But there are 600 people out here. They most likely aren't gonna remember me. And here's the secret. People are so focused on the way other people perceive them that they're not paying attention to your little goof ups. Another thing I did to tackle my imposter syndrome was to show up authentically. Because I have value with or without content creation, with or without a follower count. Next, I wrote a script about me and how I would introduce myself, and another one about how I'd approach someone. Hi, I'm Avril. Where are you from? What do you do? What content do you create? If you don't make content, what brings you here? With my what's the worst that can happen attitude and a script that I rinsed and repeated throughout the summit, I went in the next year prepared to show up differently. And it worked. I made some awesome friends and connected with some of the most interesting people ever. People from different countries and different walks of life doing the most amazing things that changed the world. There was so much value in every conversation that I had. Usually, I'm the person who sticks to the corners of the room, and going and initiating a conversation with someone is a huge task for me, let alone going and saying hi to someone I admire. But a shift in my mindset and my state of mind pushed me to do things my old self couldn't. I was actually bold enough to take pictures with people I admire, like Usha and Lakhiani. I was literally trembling for the next half an hour after this picture. Another speaker at the summit was Woody, and he's like the Ellen of Thailand. I loved his talk about personal branding, and during the break, he just happened to walk past by me. And this what's the worst that can happen, higher self Avril took over and did something that socially awkward Avril would never do. I walked up to him and said, "Hi Woody, I really loved that talk." And he stopped, looked at me and smiled and said, "Hi, what's your name?" He turned my ID and said, "Hi Avril, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much." And that changed something on the inside for me. And best of all, I connected with an entrepreneur and investor who I'd seen multiple times in conferences in India, but I never had the guts to go say hi. And as I was talking to him, he gets out his phone and starts making notes. And he says, "Well, don't mind me. I make notes when someone says something interesting." He went on to encourage me that there's value in what I have to say and I should be putting myself out there more. He gave me his business card and told me to connect with him. Incredible, right? All these incredible things wouldn't have happened if I gave in to my imposter syndrome and social anxiety and let it rule me. Each of these interactions created a new positive experience that helped me cement a new belief. Going out of your comfort zone and initiating conversations is rewarding. This imposter syndrome and social anxiety is probably gonna strike again. But I can overcome it this time because I'm equipped with a new belief and I'm not ready to miss out on these incredible experiences. So each time that self-doubt kicks in, I'm gonna kick it back by calling it out on its lies, knowing that I am worth and literally asking myself, what's the worst that can happen?